And now we're going over here to talk about an organization that was founded, but you founded it, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's called Get Your Rack Back, but it has to do with breast cancer. Is that correct? Or any cancers?
Any cancers.
Yeah.
We help in the 518 region of New York State. We help any type of cancer patient, men, women, and children with varying types of cancers.
Okay, so it's all, yeah.
With $500 in financial services, we typically provide gas and grocery gift cards and medical co-payment assistance.
And how do you get your funding? I know that this has got to be, because there's a lot of cancer out there. I'm sorry, I wish there wasn't.
There is so much, and the need is so great because so many patients are having to choose between paying for treatment and putting the food on the table for their family. So we're really trying to be boots on the ground to help people with everyday needs.
Right.
So our fundraising comes from our events. So we have our golf tournament coming up on June 1st.
And where is that held?
It's going to be held at the Saratoga Lake Golf Club. Mm-hmm. It starts at 8 a.m. check-in, 9 a.m. is the shotgun start. And right now we're sitting at about 100 golfers.
Oh, that's
so
wonderful.
We're doing very well, very excited. I think
Can people still sign up?
People can still sign up through the 20th.
To the 20th, okay.
And I think this might be our 7th or 8th tournament.
Okay.
I've lost track. COVID kind of messed us up.
So is this your only fundraiser? Or
no, we have other fundraisers throughout the year. Currently we have a Mirror Lake Inn getaway weekend for $20 raffle on our website, and those folks at the Mirror Lake Inn are wonderful, and I appreciate them supporting us.
That's wonderful.
So every bit of the money that we raise goes right out to cancer patients.
Mm-hmm.
We're completely
you're nonprofit, right?
We're completely we're nonprofit. No
all
one's
volunteers,
paid. All volunteers.
Yeah,
yes.
This is the theme of the entire show.
Yes.
Everybody's all volunteers. What would we do without volunteers?
I don't know. It would be really hard to have my foundation without volunteers. And it's hard for me sometimes because I go up against bigger nonprofits, like the American Cancer Society or Susan G. Komen.
Yeah, but
and we're small. We're very small, and we're boots on the ground trying to help people with everyday needs.
Yeah, but you're local and you're covering that. Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. So if someone gives us money and they live in Albany County, it's going to an Albany County patient.
Okay.
We help patients from Selkirk all the way up to Plattsburgh.
Do you really?
We do. We started with 2 oncology offices in Saratoga.
So you're working with oncology offices?
Oncology offices and hospitals, and we have grown to 22 oncology offices and hospitals that we help.
That's amazing.
So it's very hard to keep up with the need of patients. There's so many patients who are in need of services. And
if you're talking $500, I don't know what your bank looks like, but it doesn't look like it's going to be very full when you give out all this.
As soon as it comes in, we give it out.
Okay.
It's important that we're putting food and grocery money, gas money, and medical co-payment assistance. That's a very big one right now.
Yeah.
For patients right in their hands.
Do you get any discounted gift cards? I mean, will organizations like, say it's Price Chopper, I'll use that just because that's a local chain. Yeah. Price Chopper, if you go to them or any other one, can you work with them?
Yeah. Hannaford does. So Hannaford allows us to buy gift cards in bulk, which gives us a discount. Okay. Which every time I buy some, I end up getting a couple free. Okay. So it works out very well for our patients.
Yeah, because it's also a donation for them as well. So it works for them too.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like to hear that organizations are doing that. Now, how about gas? Do they do the same thing? Gas?
No, we buy the majority of our gas gift cards from Stewart's.
Okay.
Because I try to keep all of our business very local. It's important that we help local people.
Yeah.
So we do Stewart's gas cards, sometimes Hannaford, sometimes Price Chopper or Aldi.
Yeah.
There's different things that people can apply for on our intake form.
Okay. It's really important. So then they get that these gift cards. It works best with gift cards, actually.
Yes,
Then you know where the money is being spent, and then they get that. Now, do you do anything for this is your basic thing, is giving them a gift card, right?
What happens is at an oncology office, we rely on them to decide who's in most need of help. So they submit an intake form to us, and I ask for information about the patient, their diagnoses, their age, a little bit about themselves, and then I write them a personal letter and include in it what they need. If it's a check to, New York Oncology Hematology, for example, we help a lot of patients at NYOH.
Okay.
And I put that in there, and then I bring it to the oncology office, and then they give it to the patient. When the
I
patient's
see how that
next.
works. Yeah. Okay. So basically, you find out what they need.
Exactly.
Because if they don't need food things, you're not going to give them a food card.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So every intake form has specific needs listed of what that patient needs.
I see how it is.
And
Okay.
then I go get what they need and write them a letter, bring it to the oncology office with a package, and then they give that to the patient.
You're an amazing woman.
Well, thank you.
No, I mean
appreciate
to
that.
do something like this. What prompted you to start this nonprofit?
Well, I am the fourth generation in my family to have breast cancer, and I'm almost a 17-year survivor. And people were very kind to me when I was going through my treatment and my cancer. It was a very long haul. And I actually just had my 14th and 15th reconstructive surgeries a few months ago.
Wow.
So it's been a very long haul.
So it's a long
It
haul.
was mine was a crazy situation, but it was a long haul. But anyway, people were very kind to me, and I was in the chemo chair one day, and I'm thinking, there's got to be a way I can help pay this forward, all the kindness that people have given me. So I wanted to create a way to help people locally where there's gaps that people aren't getting services. So that's where I decided to fill this niche.
What a mission. I mean, it's a wonderful mission that you've found. Sometimes it just falls into place. Had you never encountered that, you never probably would have thought about this. I mean, it's one of those things that kind of grows like Topsy. It kind of keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Well, I think having had breast cancer, it put me in a very laser focused way of thinking about what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And it made this my mission.
Yeah.
As a byproduct of all the stuff I went through.
It's a byproduct,
right?
Yeah.
So it's been really wonderful, and I've had an amazing amount of people that have helped. We've had many board members over the years. We started the foundation in 2015. So far, we've raised enough money to help over 450 cancer patients.
Oh, that's amazing.
And
it's amazing that there's that much cancer, first of all, but the fact that you can,
it's sad that there's that much cancer. And we also have our holiday stocking drive every year that helps cancer patients' children and all the children at Albany Meds Children's Hospital at the Melody Center.
Because there's cancer there too.
Yes, there's cancer there too. So we've probably done about 4,500 stockings year to date. Not year to date. But yeah,
you and your team must be amazing.
We're busy beavers, I guess you could say.
How many volunteers do you have?
I have 7 people on my board right now, and we probably have another 10 volunteers that help throughout the different events we have and throughout the years. So it's been really great.
So if you need more help or you want more support, how would they find you?
They can reach out to me on my website, gyrb.org, and fill out a little form there and let me know that they'd like to volunteer. We love volunteers.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say one thing about our golf tournament. We cannot do this golf tournament without the support of local businesses as sponsors, and I wanted to take a minute to thank my sponsors.
Absolutely, please do.
So New York Oncology Hematology, Belmonte Builders, the Triad Group, Tony Mangino Mitsubishi, Mohawk Chevrolet, and Michael J. Novak CPA. So
and you remembered all of them.
I wrote them down and I remembered them. I just don't want to forget anything. No, they've been wonderful and they're great supporters of what our mission is, and it makes us happy that people are involved and want to give back to the local community.
Yeah, that is, I mean, it's amazing, but it's such a mission. And knowing that people well, first of all, if you get a diagnosis like that, your world falls apart. I mean, it does. It just like, oh, here we go. What am I going to face next? And so you start on this journey of having cancer and deciding what am I going to do next, and how's this affecting my family, and how's it affecting, and how am I going to get to the treatments, and how often do I have to go? I mean, there's all these things that kind of fall into your mind. So this little bit that you add to help means a lot.
I think it does to people, and I know it does because I receive so many phone calls and emails, and I recently received a message from a patient who told me that he wasn't sure how he was going to put food on the table.
Yeah.
And we gave him $500 in grocery gift cards.
Yeah.
And it makes it's a lot of work, and I love doing it, but it's just so fulfilling to know that it's really helping people, and that's what we should all be coming together as a community
yeah.
to help everyone.
Yeah.
And I wish I could solve the problem of cancer,
Yeah.
but I can help people, or we can help people with things that they're dealing with every day.
Exactly. And you know, in just a simple thing like I mean, you don't do this, but a ride to getting to your treatments. I have a friend that is going through, or has just finished going through prostate cancer, and it's like, I've got to go to radiation 5 days a week, and you know, it's like, there's a lot.
I have set up Uber rides for people.
Oh, okay.
So I do try, I color a little bit outside the lines of my
Yeah.
bylaws because I want to really fit what the patients need.
The needs.
You know,
And
so
needs can change.
they can change. They definitely can change.
Yeah.
Years ago,
We didn't have Uber before.
right. Well, years ago, I had a patient who needed help because she didn't have enough money to pay for her heating bill.
Oh.
And I can't remember the heating company, but I called and asked what the bill was so I could pay that for her, up to $500.
Yeah.
And he said, I can't tell you what it is. I said, if I give you $500, will that cover it? He said, well, it won't cover the whole thing. I said, well, this is a cancer patient.
This is what I'll have.
And
This
this
is
is
all
what
I
I
can give
have.
her.
Is there any way you can help this patient out? And he did. The owner did.
Oh, he
Yes.
wiped out the rest.
Yes. So I can color a little outside the lines, but
But you haven't changed your mission.
I've never changed my mission. No,
You haven't
not
changed, so you
once.
don't need to
No.
worry about that. You haven't
No.
done anything wrong.
Yeah. Phew. Don't tell my attorney.
If you would like to help Connie with her mission and what she's doing for others, you can contact her through her website, which we've put up on the screen there. And perhaps you'd like to volunteer. I don't know what kind of volunteering she needs, but I'm sure she'll find a place for you.
Absolutely.
Somewhere along the
Absolutely.
line. So yeah, so we want to give. I want to give you a big shout out for what you're doing, Connie,
Thank you
because
so
it's so
much.
important.
Thank you for having me
And
on
it's
today.
something that maybe we don't think about, but it's happening, and that's a
It
good
is,
thing.
yeah.